Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR HaLacha. And it's a brand new HaLacha for, and it's for Wednesday, 17th day of October, the 8th day of CHESHVAN. Here we go. Today we're going to move on to finding out if on Shabbos, if your glasses break, are you allowed to fix them, yes or no? What about Yom Tov? Here goes. So this piece on the side of your glasses is called the temple. And they sometimes fall off. The little screw that's in there loosens up and it's on the ground. Can you fix that on Shabbos? We'll get to the answer in a minute. Also, sometimes the lens itself pops out of this spot and you want to pop it back in. Can you do that on Shabbos? So, before we get to specific answers, some background knowledge that you'll need to know. Firmly attaching anything back into its spot on Shabbos could be called bona, building, which you're not allowed to do on Shabbos. Tikkun mana, which means fixing a vessel, which you're not allowed to do on Shabbos, or makeh b'patish, which means like giving the final blow to making something be perfect. So we'll work on the temple here now for a little bit. If you were to tighten that screw, put the temple back in and put the little screw in and tighten it well, then you could be guilty of any one of those things just listed. Maybe you're building, maybe you're fixing a vessel, maybe you're putting the final touch on a vessel, which you're not allowed to do on Shabbos. What if you want to put this screw into the hinge without tightening it? Then you say, I'm not firmly attaching it. Well, you're not allowed to do it still because the rabbis have this decree that they call maybe you'll make it tight. And since you might end up making it tight, it's a problem. And so even if you say, I won't, I'll just put the screw in and I'll leave it loose. So they said it's not allowed because they feared that you're so close to like one more turn and it's tightened on and they didn't want you doing that. But interestingly, this last decree called fearing that you're going to tighten it, they only apply that decree to Shabbos, but not to Yom Tov. So if your glasses broke on Shabbos and the temple fell off, then you would not be allowed to put that screw back in. But if it happened on Yom Tov, you would be allowed to put that screw in just lightly. Also, you should just note that the rabbis generally gave the status of muktzah to the detached pieces of things that break. I should backtrack for a moment just to tell you where this all comes from in the Shulchan Aruch. Glasses as we wear them today didn't really exist back then, but it came from a law that was similar or related. It was about an oven, a little portable oven that had some legs underneath it, and they broke off. The Shulchan Aruch says that you'd have the same problem. I'm afraid you shouldn't put them back on. It might be putting the final touch. And if we allowed it loose, some people might tighten it. So the Ramah says that the same idea applies to bench legs that fall off of a bench. And then he said, and all things similar. So our glasses case is similar to that. And that's why, hence, there will turn out to be a prohibition on putting back these temples onto your glass, even with a lightly tightened screw on Shabbos. So, in summary, can you put the screw back in your temple on Shabbos? No. Can you put it in loosely on Shabbos? The answer is no, because you might tighten it. And on Yom Tov, there is some leniency to do that. Okay, stick with us. We're going to continue more on this topic in the next day or two. Thanks for logging on. Log on again tomorrow for more. Bye.